Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Byzantium. So, the turn is 4011, year 782 BC, and we are one turn away from Oratory. Now, before we go there though, I would update on our empire. Everything is good. No, that really is pretty much it. You can see that we're building the cold observers huts everywhere. We're improving all of our cities, making sure that things are just as they should. I've been tweaking the build trees of our, build schedules. That's not a build tree. Build schedules, or, construction schedules of our cities, kind of extensive. I don't know if something's wrong with me, but I started to micromanage them quite more than I did before. So I revisit their schedules like twice between each of the updates here, and try to shuffle it and check if new buildings become available. So it's I'm getting quite down there. I'm managing them on a more personal level, which brings me to the point that right now, as you can see, we have a number of cities. Actually it's 2 now, but we had more before we got the cold observers huts starting to build. But we have 2 cities on lesser wealth, which allows us to get a fairly decent income with maximum research output. So I'm starting to think about building the next city, and as we all know, it would be here, because this is a decent spot. There is a lot of resources here. Let me trigger that again so you can see. We have a number of things here, like the bisons. We have melons down south here. We got some marble and some lemons. We got some coconuts, shrimps, pearls, bananas, and it has also a really good position here, meaning it would be a great port for our western domain. It's located beyond the river, which is, a nice defensible position. There are hills here, so if anyone wants to cross over this river, we have an additional potential to station units here on this hill, and it would be a great fort against the treacherous Babylon. So if we ever go and build a city, it's gonna be here. I know that you guys like it when I give you the option to vote, but last time only like 4 of you voted, which led me to the point that when it comes to strategic necessities, I will overrule you, and I'm overruling you right now. We want this area. I already, and I think I mentioned that in the previous episode, already raised a barbarian city that was here. It was gone, before I actually started playing today. So I think that's a good indicator that I've already taken care of it last week when I was recording the previous episode. Yeah, apart from that, things are looking good. We are doing great, getting a decent bank here. So now let's see what Oratory brings us. But I actually have one more thing that I want to mention. I looked at what we need to get, and in this episode we are going to do 4 updates. So they're going to be slightly shorter and quicker, because I want to get through 4. Because we're going to get Oratory, then Falconry, then scriptures, and then astrology, so that the next episode can be karma, reincarnation, and then classical lifestyle. So we are actually in the next episode going to cross into the next era. I didn't want to end it on the note that we would have astrology, karma, and reincarnation in the next episode, and then you will have to wait for another one where we would jump into the classical lifestyle. I actually want to show it at and I'm really interested in, so I wanted to power through this and get there as fast as possible. And these updates are going to be fine, because these are interesting technologies, mostly giving us really interesting buildings. And then in the next one we're getting the karma, reincarnation, and classical lifestyle, things that I don't understand very much, because if they work the same way as resurrection, which I still do not understand, I have no idea how we're going to handle them. So maybe it's going to be like, okay, technology, nothing happened, technology, nothing happened, and then classical lifestyle, boom. Cool, so now let's hear it for Oratory, which is actually one of my favorite technologies, and I always liked, reading the books of ancient Greece and learning about how they taught this in the past. pretty interesting stuff. So if you ever want to learn more about Greece, I suggest that you learn about this, because the art of speech is something that was not lost at the old Greeks and the Romans either way.
I could never make a good impromptu speech without several hours to prepare it.
Okay, so Oratory. Oratory allows us to get lesser espionage. I have no idea what this is. Lesser espionage, and neither does the game. Okay, no idea what that is. Enables Silver Tank 2. Okay, I don't know what this one does either. Allowed for diplomats. Huh, that's interesting. I guess this is something that they still need to develop. Foment, which is the second step in lowering the, the education in a city where you're in, and Inspire 2. Okay, that protects against cultural revolution, which is not really valid for us as we're not playing with the revolutions enabled. The AI doesn't really handle them well. More importantly though, it gives us School of Rhetoric, which is a building giving free culture for education and +1 experience point to espionage units and +2 experience points to all diplomats. And it enables a new type of crime, false accusations, which increases unhappiness and unhealthiness and lowers production and income, and increases local insidiousness by 0.4%. Exists above 75 crime, which is really not that hard to get. I actually think that's in most of our cities at this point. 75. Yeah, Constantinople right at the bat gets it. Yeah, Thessaloniki gets it. Adrianople, Nicaea. Yeah, 75 is really low threshold. And people are, not very trustworthy, so they will they will accuse each other of false acts. Cool. So that's all for this update, and I'll see you in the next one in 10 turns, where we're gonna get Falconry. Turn 4021, year 769 BC, and we are 1 turn away from Falconry. So before we go there, I actually wanted to confirm what I said in the previous episode. As you can see, our income is now 219. So I went ahead and Constantinople has built a settler, which is now here with the workers and elephants and all the other people. I did, however, do a little mistake, meaning that we took only 1 civilian captive, and there are still 3 more stuck in Constantinople, so I'm going to send them down there immediately. I realized it only when they arrived before I started recording that by accident I only took 1. So yeah, mistakes happen, but let's call it a frontier settlement. And these guys are just the lucky settlers that are coming. So we're gonna settle the city here, and it's gonna be named Misitrus. Misitrus is gonna start working on the regular thing, the flint gatherer, and so on and so on. Let's let it work on that. And right off the bat, we can see that we are getting pretty decent. What is that? Coconuts? No, that's a bison, and there is actually a scavenging camp here, which turns into hunting camp in 28 turns. Nice, 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 nice. Chief hut is no longer functioning. We have a fishing boat here operational, and there's something here. Oh, there's a marble. Okay, there's no quarry or anything there, but we can fix that. Wow, it's gonna have 11 income in industry, 4 in 4 in gold, and still 2 in food. Damn, that's a really good tile. Then the lemons, those are not going to be bad either. With orchard, they're going to give us 7 food, 5 gold, and 1 production. Decent. What about the coconuts? Okay, coconuts also can take advantage of orchard. And they would have 8 food, 3 production, and 2 gold. Yeah, this is really nice. And you know, when we get more people here, I think that was 3 civilians, right? Yeah, 3 of them. So we're gonna have population of 6 here, which is gonna be good, you know. These guys are going to start working on various stuff. So of course we're gonna start with the marble quarry because we want to get as much production here as is possible right from the bat. As long as the city is not dying of hunger, I am going to always prioritize industry. And we can see that, you know, with this many lesser wealth cities, Patra is also on lesser wealth, and it's because, you know, they don't have anything to build. That's not like me just turning that on, but this is a signal for me that we have nothing else to go with. We can fund this city, no problem. Now without those lesser valves, now that we're gonna get Falconry and new buildings, it's gonna be a bit tough, but we're gonna get there, and I don't think that Falconry gives us that many things to go with. By the way, during one of the revisions that I'm doing periodically now on the towns, I found out that the education in Constantinople has dropped dramatically. This is probably because I disbanded like half of the story towers here and upgraded the rest into bards, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and that means that we have lost the bonus here. We have just the, what is it called, education base ancient, and we don't have the bonus education, which is called brilliant, for which you need 250, which grants a huge amount of extra things. So the moment I noticed that, I built like 2 extra bard units, and I'm building 3rd one because we really need to get the education going, which brought me to the fact that I checked on most of the cities, and we either have cities which are extremely educated or that don't have any education at all, which is most of the new cities, because, you know, it goes industry, then food production, and then if we have time, we're dealing with crime and education. Well, crime much faster, and also health, because I don't want to have some ransacked, disease-ridden hovels in my empire. But, you know, education, not that high on the priority list. But the bigger cities, the more established ones, are all doing great, with the exception of Constantinople. So now let's end this turn and see it for ourselves. The glory of the mighty falcon, the glory of the science of falconry. Or would it be sport? I don't know how it's classified. I'd say it's science. Weird. Not sure how. I'll have to look into that. Okay, so we have an improvement that can upgrade, and as you can see, a number of things have been built in Misitrus. Longhouses, ants, cockroaches, mosquitoes, and fleas. Great.
A satisfactory hobby must be in a large degree useless, inefficient, laborious, or relevant. All in all, falconry is the perfect hobby.
Yeah, that's when I found actually after I stopped talking that it's not science or sport, it's a hobby. So, this leads to aristocracy, which is something that we definitely need. And it gives us a falconer, which is a building that gives us extra spying and extra food. And unit reward hawking hut. +1 food and +2 science. Can be bought by subdued eagle. Subdued bald eagle. Interesting. So, no, forget it. I'm not building any gambling dens. Yeah, mine would be good, but core is gonna be much better. Yeah, mine does not give access to marble. So you build me the quarry. Damn, guys, you're really bold running into the barbarian territory. You're supposed to border watch, not go beyond. Wow, go beyond the border into enemy territory and get killed, probably. Damn. Okay. Well, let's look at these buildings. So we can get anything. What? Where are my falcons? Where are my falcons? What's wrong? Did I miss something? Falcons. Where are you and why are you not here? What is the required thing for falcons? Requires poultry in the city and in city vicinity or manufactured locally. And grapes? Poultry. Okay, do we... I think we do have poultry in at least one of our cities. Who had poultry? Poultry. Here. Constantinople has poultry. So can Constantinople build the mighty falcon? They can't. That is weird. That is weird. There is poultry here, isn't there? Is that the tile that you're not using? Is that tile that they're not using? Okay, but I guess we're not building the falcons then for some reason. Was it really all? Was there something else that I missed? Does it like require something else, falconer? With industrials can be built. Oh, okay. So even the falconer needs to be built by the eagles. Okay, gotcha. And I'm not sure we don't have any, do we? No, we got subdued hawk. Oh, but that one can build us a hawking hut. Okay, cool. And you can build same thing. That's eagle. Okay, but we do not have we don't have falcons. So we could build a hawking hut. Awesome. Okay, well, at least something. So, yeah. Anyway, in 18 turns, I'm gonna see you with scriptures. And considering, we're just gonna rake in the money, as there's really nothing that we can do with these festivals. I mean, I'm gonna try to figure something out, maybe some upgrades or anything. And we're gonna be pouring time into developing the area of Misitrus, but other than that, well, yeah, okay, cool. Everything is fine, just chugging along towards the era of antiquity. Turn 4038, year 747 BC, and we are one turn away from scriptures. So what's new? Well, as I mentioned, I was mostly focused on Misitrus. The city is now at population 6 as we managed to get in the civilians, and the production is really good as we upgraded quite a lot of surrounding territory. So you can see that we get the marble quarry finished. We're building a set of farms here. We have the lemon orchard, we have the lumberjack here, and the coconut orchard finished. We also have a deer hunting preserve here. We are working on another farm here, and we need to upgrade this scavenging camp into a hunting preserve, which we are going to do next. But again, we got some other things here up and running. So as we're focusing on the industrial growth first, I think we don't need to focus that much on upgrading, for example, the sea, because there is still a lot of tiles around us to get at. Plus, the border is going to grow significantly, giving us even more tiles. So we're focusing on the industrial buildings. We got the rock gatherer, lichen gatherer, lumber gatherer up. We got the water pipes, irrigation canals, and granary, and some other things like Chief's Hut and wildfire automatic finish. We also built driftwood and flint gather, so you can see that now we are working on the rattan grove, stoneworkers, there's going to be counting sticks, and so on and so on. After which we are going to jump into... we can build a stone tool maker. Okay. Oh, look at what they did to my boy. It gives one industry, not even 1 gold and 1 science. It used to be the most important building. And these are the ancient customs and the mining camp. These 2 buildings are a game changer. We have 50 production now, and these 2 alone gave 18. So yeah, they're going to be very high on that. But first, we're going to finish these smaller buildings to make sure that things are going fine. Even though it seems like a waste, considering these ones usually give like 1. You know, but they always give something else as well, like a bit of food or science. So it's not like we can just straight up say that this one is better, but yeah, it would be better. Jesus Christ, with nano mining, 10 and 10. The mining camp is just gonna get better. Mining gap is just gonna get better. Other than that, you can see lesser wealth, schools of rhetorics being built, hypercoasts. In the north, we're building the town watch and the Hatter. These cities are growing pretty nicely. Nisos is going to get to population 11 soon. I believe we had a couple of groves already. Yeah, Nicomedia is now at population 11. And there was one more, I think, somewhere. But I might have been mistaken. Oh no, Philippopolis is at population 9 now. So, yeah, cities are growing left and right. Constantinople is still quite far away from 21. So, yeah, this is not going to happen in this episode. But in the next one, before we get into the ancient... Well, not ancient, the antiquity. This is the ancient era, but before we get to the antiquity, it's going to be at population 21, so either 70 or 80,000 people will be living in our magnificent capital. And if you notice, I'm building chariots. The reason is that that little daring horseman that you saw in the last update got slaughtered, of course, by the barbarians. And there was another skirmish going on here with some of our watchmen, so they were destroyed. So we need to build a couple of chariots to strengthen our border patrols, which leads me to the fact that we might actually send an excursion to raise these barbarian settlements, because they are really threatening us. You can see the archers here. It's not good. It's not great. I mean, it's good. It's not great.
And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Okay, so scriptures give us 3 things. They give us scriptorium, which gives you extra science and culture, and some happiness from die, and the ability to build missionaries faster. Then it gives you mausoleum, which lowers maintenance and unhealthiness in the city greatly. Actually, not healthiness, disease, but it requires graveyard, palace, or housing. Yeah, there's quite a lot of requirements here. Marble or stone or brick or cement. Okay, so this one is not very easy. And what does graveyard require? Replaces burial ground. Requires burial tradition earth. Okay, I'm not entirely sure we've went with earth. So yeah, wherever we have that, we can build the graveyard, and then later probably mausoleum if we have marble there as well, which is unbelievable, -20 to disease, but still. And scriptoriums require state church, we got that. Civics to be active, books or paper or tablets. Yeah, scriptorium should be available everywhere then, right? Yeah. Oh, and it gives happiness, 1.5. Well, that's actually a decent boost to science. And even to culture. I mean, shout out to that intelligent person who noticed that I don't understand that this this number here is the amount of cities that we have. I did not realize that, never occurred to me. So we have 19 cities. If each one of us give us 1.5 sides, then we're moving up by, say, 30, so that's not bad, with the output of 2,324. It does not seem that major, but every little bit counts. And here's our chariot. So we're gonna give you boost to strength, and off you go, little buddy, to do some automated border patrol, not body patrol. Yeah, and you can see that our stalkers are still plaguing the Israel lands. They're pretty good. I don't know where the other ones are. Okay, there's another one. So here is the strong of the military. You can see their stats here. They're might 2, combat 6. Even the greener def, because green def and greener def died, so now we have even greener def is at level 7. A bit on the weaker side still, but already got combat 4, might 2. And we have one more somewhere, and I don't know where. They were concentrated. Here. They're resting. Dark Shadows are also at level 11, with combat 6 and might 2. So doing pretty good in the Terrorize Israel plan. I'm still not sure if where is it? Wait, was it under the stats? I think it was on the stats. Yeah, we are growing much faster than Israel is, which is making me happy. That's the biggest point of interest for me, to increase the gap between us and the other civilizations. By the way, some of you suggested that I focus on more expensive technologies, but I keep checking, and Israel does not have any of these techs. So they're probably researching stuff that we are researching, and they're not focusing on these ones. Maybe they're going into the ancient era, I don't know. But if they do, they're going to make it harder for themselves. And as you can see, each one of these techs gives us quite a decent boost. So next we're going to go with Astrology. So I'll see you in 17 turns. Turn 4056, year 723 BC, and I'm here with Astrology. As you can see, it took a bit longer than the aforementioned, was it 16 or 17 turns? Because I did not realize that we'll have to turn all of those lesser valves off, meaning that our income actually tanked and dropped to a negative, so we had to slow down the investment into research, and then, had to ramp it up. But we got a couple of extra turns in the research anyway. So as you can see, Misitrus is doing pretty good, building the clay pit now, drying frame. We got the ancient customs and mining camp already scheduled. They're working on, actually their border has increased, as you can see, and they're working the most interesting tiles that we can see here. We've kind of expanded them. Jade has appeared south of Constantinople, so we removed an ancient forest that was here, and instead we have a jade quarry, giving a bit of an extra income to us down here. Constantinople still 36 turns from growing to population 21, but we'll get there in the next episode. And other than that, things are fine, things are great. Constantinople's education, as you can see, is sitting at 564, so things are looking good. Not much else I can say. Actually, there is a couple of things, but you can see Nissos has grown. We had other cities grow. Iconium has grown, and Ankira has grown. So the overall population of our empire right now is 250,000 people. 250,000 people live in our beautiful empire of Byzantium. So that really makes me happy. So let's hear it for Astrology, and then I'm going to wrap the episode up. And in the next one, we're going to go towards antiquity. I really can't wait. I've never been there, never got there, and not even in the last Let's Play. We're way past that point, actually. Both in turns and development, I have outdid myself in front of you, which makes me happy. Wow, that sounded so self-centered, but yeah, you know how I meant that.
We would be a lot safer if the government would take its money out of science and put it into astrology and the reading of palms. Only in superstition is there hope. If you want to become a friend of civilization, then become an enemy of the truth and a fanatic for harmless balderdash.
Wow, not often do I say that the guy reading the quotes is bad, but this one, I like the guy, but this one he really read wrong. I could hear him just rushing through it, and yeah, that was bad. This one should be remade. Anyway, an interesting quote from Vonnegut. Interesting. So this one leads to calendar, which is interesting. Calendar costs 93,000, so that's a classical technology, okay. And we got, wow, astrological influence. And we get astrology school and fortune teller. So what do they need? Astrology school gives you science and culture and education, which is what I actually hoped for. Requires barter post, we got that. Shopping district, paper school. Yeah, okay, so we can build the astrology school everywhere pretty much. And fortune teller, trading post. Yeah, both of these can be built, so we're getting extra science and culture and education, and extra income, happiness, and culture. Cool. And what are these? These are world wonders. One allowed. Okay, because I've been born in August. What does the astrological influence of Leo, for example, do? Okay, increases birth rate of the great people, gives you some education. Melee is built 20% faster. Plus astrology school or observatory military training, obsolete with medieval lifestyle. Okay, so this one will be available to us with classical lifestyle. What about this one? Okay, the same. What about this one? The classical lifestyle. So these all open probably with classical lifestyle. Yeah, and obsolete with medieval lifestyle. So I guess build one and get like a special bonus. This one lowers the maintenance cost from distance to palace, which would be really good for us. Virgo, I have to remember that. So we'll have to decide which one we build as a one-off bonus for the antiquity. Cool. And next is karma. Okay, volcano eruption. So let's put our theory to the test. Yep, we can build astrology school, which is extra free science, free culture, and for education. Nice. And fortune teller. Okay, so that's good. That is great. And I guess on that note, we're gonna end this episode. I've done a lot in this one. Played it over several days, but we got an entire new city to play around with. Sort of a southwestern port for us, unless we start conquering the Byzantium. Not Byzantium. It was the Babylonian territory. Already expanding the border, which is good. There's something here. What's the? Oh, that's the melons. Okay, that's gonna give us quite a lot of food and income and health. So we need to upgrade that eventually. You guys doing? You're coming back. Yeah, to build the lumberjack. So I'm gonna swoop around and upgrade these areas. We've went through 4 technologies, which is amazing. And all that's left for us for the next update is karma and reincarnation. And then we can set up classical lifestyle, and we'll just jump right over and enter the next era. which I believe is way shorter. The prehistoric era seems to be the longest. Then you have the ancient era, which is really technology heavy. This one is also really technology heavy, but is much shorter. Then you have medieval. This is probably Renaissance. Or... oh yeah, Renaissance. Then you have industrial. Yep, industrial. Then there's atomic, information, nanotech. Okay, that's already future tech. Transhuman, galactic, cosmic, and transcendent. And these advanced technologies are actually fairly quick, because there's not that much there. They're probably just going to be super expensive, which explains why we're already 1/5 through the game. Jesus Christ, this is episode 60 and we are 20.3% through the game. My god, if I ever make it through the entire game, that would be a big challenge for myself. I think that I'd have to somehow make sure that I switch computers. How long have I been playing this? Half a year? Jesus Christ. But yeah, still we are doing it. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me for this update. It was fun. In the next one, we're not only gonna work on the technologies, but considering our income, I'm tempted to get yet another city, maybe down here on the border of Babylon. There's not that much new here, but we could settle here and push the border a bit, so we could have like 3 border cities here. Or, and that's another possibility, building a city here, which would be way worse. But there's a bunch of really nice sea tiles here, and it would allow us to launch expeditions into the barbarian territory and just destroy these cities. I might just do that anyway without settling here, because god damn it, they're annoying. But it's gonna depend. I guess I'm gonna wait for the end, for once we get the ancient, no, what was it called? I forgot, classical lifestyle. Once we get classical lifestyle, and see what our income is without these artificial boosts from lesser wealth, after which we can decide whether or not we are going to go forward. But I think that we can go all the way up to 24 cities, so 2 here, 1 extra here, and 1 extra here, and probably maybe even 1 in the desert. Would that be possible? Oh, we could build 1 here, and yeah, we would have to build 2 cities here. But, you know, settling along the coast, does it? Oh, okay. It's kind of funny. Egypt has resettled the places that we razed. I guess good for them. But yeah, after the war with us, they never really recovered. So they got Giza here. That's new. Marble and prickle pear. Well, we are the dominant power. Let's hope that's gonna stay that way.